I wonder, in this week of Brexit, we're coming out of the European Union on, at 1 minute past 11 on the 31st. Do you see this as a moment to be marked or a moment to be celebrated?
Well, I think it is an occasion, there's no doubt about that, for our country. You know, 3 years since we had the referendum, and after a lot of political discourse, discussion and heated debates as well, this is a very significant moment for our country. But I actually think we mark the occasion, yes, by reflecting on the referendum the last 3 years, but we should also look to the future now in an incredibly positive way, where we can look at how we can heal divisions that have taken place. It is a fact there have been divisions over recent years and times on Brexit and our withdrawal from the European Union. But we have to recognise now that there is tremendous opportunity now for our country, whether it comes to trade, immigration, the fact that we'll be taking back control of our laws, we'll be an independent country, we won't be a rule taker. And I think for the whole of the United Kingdom, you know, we are leaving the EU as one United Kingdom. This is an extraordinary moment for us, a big opportunity to look at how, post the general election, we can bring new opportunities to every part, every corner, every region of the United Kingdom, and bring this government's agenda of levelling up when it comes to opportunity, to people, to future prospects, when it comes to skills, infrastructure, to each part of the country. And that is something that we are excited about and absolutely determined to deliver upon.
See, I wonder if you might be able to help me out, Ms Patel, and be the first kind of cabinet minister to concede that the 31st of January is not the end. It is not even the beginning of the end, but perhaps the end of the beginning. I mean, there's still a country mile to go in terms of negotiating free trade agreements and so on before we can say, really, that we have left the European Union.
Well, I think, first of all, we are leaving, so, Neil, that is a fact on Friday. And by leaving, we will be taking control of our laws, our borders, our money. That is a very, very significant moment. We will stop being a rule taker. We'll be ending free movement through the legislation that I will be bringing through Parliament. And it is a fact, of course, we will have an opportunity now. We'll have many opportunities now to enter negotiations to secure a Canada-style free trade agreement with our partners and friends in the European Union. The political declaration has set that out very clearly. Yes, we are leaving on Friday. Yes, we will have new opportunities. Yes, there will be new negotiations, new discussions with our partners and our friends in the EU, but also around the world, whether it's the US or Asia, other countries. That work has already started place, and that is something that will be tremendously exciting, not just for our nation, but I think for the country and for many other countries around the world who we will be having a different dialogue with and a different relationship going forward.
And they, as much as others, particularly around the cabinet table, will be looking to the extent to which we as a country diverge from the European Union. I mean, what is your view on all of this? There seems to have been some conflicting messages from government over the past couple of weeks. Do we remain in close alignment with the European Union, or is this the time to make a break for it?
No, there is no disagreement in government at all. We are clear. We are leaving. We'll be taking back control of our laws, our money, our borders. And in terms of
how much will we diverge from the current status quo?
In terms of divergence, let's be very clear about this. We intend to. We're not having alignment. We will be diverging. We want to take control of our laws, money, our borders, and to do that, we will not be rule takers, Neil. We will be setting our own laws, and that is a fundamental feature of leaving the European Union. And as I've said already, in the political declaration specifically to the relationship between the UK and the EU, we've set out the direction of travel already. Yes, we'll be entering negotiations, but we've been very clear in terms of that relationship. We want a Canada-style free trade arrangement, and we want to have, you know, we want to achieve those shared aims as outlined in the political declaration.
So where will the divergence take place?
Well, look, I'm not going to speculate now. We're about to enter a negotiation, and this isn't about identifying particular areas. We've been clear that when it comes to our agricultural policy, we will have independence. We've been clear when it comes to our immigration policy, we're taking back control. We'll have our own immigration policies. We'll have a points-based system, one that the British government is in charge of. These are the fundamental tenets of leaving the EU. We've been very clear about that. In the very week, of course, that the withdrawal bill, the Act, was passed through Parliament, we are leaving. We're going to stop being a rule taker, and we will now have newfound freedoms where we can set out our own course, our own path for independence, and that also means divergence, non-alliance across a range of areas through a range of negotiations that we'll be entering.
I mean, you mentioned immigration and being able to control the numbers, and we've had Boris Johnson on the programme making it clear that the numbers will come down. Again, something that seems a little confused. You might be able to clarify. That £30,000 minimum wage for people coming into the country, has that requirement been scrapped?
Well, we'll be following the guidance from the Migration Advisory Committee, and I'm not going to prejudge that. We've been very clear.
But what's your view, though?
No, I'm not giving you my view, because I commissioned the MAC. I commissioned the MAC towards the end of last year, and it's right that the MAC, who, by the way, are reporting this week in terms of the points-based system, caps and numbers, and how we will be going about the points-based system, it is right that I look at what they're proposing, and it's right that I work with them. And in addition to that, we have been abundantly clear in the run-up to the election, after the election, in our manifesto, and through the legislation that we'll be bringing forward, through the immigration bill when it comes forth, that we are absolutely determined to change the immigration system, end the complexity of the immigration system, have simpler rules, have a points-based system where we can absolutely have people that bring the right skills for our labour market, meet the right kind of labour market tests, but also bring the right kind of skills that we need in our country, promoting the brightest and the best, while at the same time supporting our public services through initiatives such as the NHS visa that I announced a few months ago. And that is exactly the type of visa regime that we'll be bringing forward, because it supports our economy, it supports our labour market, and it supports our public services.
Yeah. Why do we want immigration numbers to come down? I mean, it strikes me, your own personal remarkable story, your parents, fleeing Idi Amin, coming here to the United Kingdom, and just a few short decades later, here you are as Home Secretary. It strikes me that the Priti Patel story makes a rather good case for continued immigration, perhaps even at the levels that we are now. We know that immigrants are net contributors to the economy.
Well, we know also that people that come to our country with the right skills obviously contribute in many ways. This isn't about comparing what our plans and intentions are right now with the points-based system with previous histories on immigration. The fact of the matter is we're leaving the European Union, which means free movement will end. And that also means we will be able to control the level of unskilled migration that has come to the United Kingdom, and quite frankly, that has come to the United Kingdom in many ways that, yes, may have contributed and has contributed to the economic growth of our nation, but also now puts a spotlight on the type of skills that we need to grow our labour market, to be a successful economy going forward, to continue on our economic growth, but also to make sure, yes, we have the right skills, but that British businesses as well grow and invest in the British public too. They have been far too reliant on low-skilled and, quite frankly, cheap labour from the EU, and we want to end that. We think it's about time that businesses started to invest in people across the whole of the United Kingdom, that they join with us on our agenda to level up the skills, the infrastructure, the economic growth across all our regions, promote growth across the whole of the United Kingdom. And that is one of the key opportunities that we have when we leave the EU through the immigration system, the points-based system that we will be bringing. Yes, supporting the brightest and the best, but also encouraging British industry to do more, to invest in capital, in people, in human capital, and the skills that our country and our economy needs in the long run.
Something in your to-do list at the moment, Huawei. Strange question this for me.